is all about, what is expected of you, how you will be graded, and also answer any questions or concerns you might have. So let's get started. So this is the outline. So the internship definition, the deliverables and grading, and the main stakeholders, who you will be interacting with during this exercise. So first of all, the internship is a professional experience that you will learn outside the academic context. You will go and take a learning exercise in the real world, in the professional context, within a company. And the purpose of this is to build your confidence, grow professionally, and also hopefully to expand your network, which means don't just sit in the corner and don't interact with anybody and tell them I am an antisocial person, nobody comes near me. You should really be proactive, try to seek opportunities, try to really enjoy it. You really need to enjoy this experience. Okay. So it is a 6 weeks professional experience. The difference here, you need to be working on some kind of project. You need to be very careful because some companies, they consider you as just a visitor. You go from one section to another, watching what they're doing, maybe asking a couple of questions. Ramadan will be out, you can have some coffee. But yes, you can do that in the first 2-3 days. It's fine, but that's not the goal of the internship. The internship is you have to seek opportunity to work on something meaningful that you will learn from, that you will deliver something at the end of your internship. It's very important. And you need to kind of communicate this to them clearly in the first week. In fact, in the first week, you should write 1 page listing what are the tasks you will be working on and what you intend to learn from them. And then you submit it to me and I will give you some feedback. So this is very important, and depending on the maturity of the organization you'll be going to, it depends. So some of them will look at you as an asset, as an opportunity to kind of have a mutual benefits. You have to try to convince them, yes, you can do something useful, you can contribute, you can be of value, and you have to be a little bit pushy. So you cannot just sit in the corner and expect, oh, by the way, come, we give you this task to do, come and help us with this. Don't expect this. Except in very mature organizations that they really value and they are very value the internship. Unfortunately, I'm just telling you, the reality is not there yet. But hopefully you will change it gradually. You will change it. Plus, in other institutions, for them the internship is just going around observing what others are doing. That's not the internship for us in the College of Engineering. The internship here, doing something, working on some kind of project. All right. So, and delivering something at the end. Delivering not because they will put it in their life system and suddenly they become in the top 100 companies in Qatar and the world. That's not the goal. Delivering something meaningful for you, you learn from it, you will grow. From this 6 week, you really benefit. Okay, so that is the key message I want to. Now, the project scope will vary. It will be very different from one company to another. As long as you're doing something that the host, the mentor, or whoever is hosting you will be also doing. Something similar to what they do, whatever the nature of their work. If you are lucky, they might be working on some project. Hopefully, they can trust you with small parts, but you can do maybe some design, some implementation, or maybe they intend in the future to work on this project and they say, oh, you are a good opportunity for us. Let us do some small proof of concept. Let us, just to give you a small example. For example, there was one time a student, what the company gave them. This company, they wanted to buy or implement some solution to track their assets. to basically manage their IT assets, servers, printers, scanners, whatever IT assets out there. So basically, what they ask the student to do to go out there and to find commercial and open source solutions for IT asset management systems. And basically, she downloads them, she studies them, she does some proof of concept specific to what the company wants. And then she writes a nice report comparing them, the pros and cons of each one. She came up with a very nice criteria for comparing, and at the end gave them very nice recommendation with justification. This is a very good experience. Okay, she didn't do full implementation or anything, but she customized some. She gets exposure to this new area of IT asset management. She experienced installing, experimenting with different open source and commercial systems. She came up with comparison criteria. She did the evaluation. She formulated a recommendation. What else we can ask her to do? It's a very good project. Okay, another example. Okay, this company, they are extending, opening another branch. They want to set up a networking of this branch. They will not ask you, here is the switches, here are the cables, go ahead and implement this network for us. It's unreasonable, But, okay, design for us the network. Do a prototype simulated implementation. Okay, where should we, how many switches we will have, how many routers, how they will be connected, what's the capacity of how many users we can put on this network, what is the speed of each, designing a network and simulating it. It's a very nice exercise. So this type of project. Another one, okay, they ask the students, okay, we want to experiment some attack scenarios. We are under attacks. We want to understand what are the potential impacts of these attacks. Okay, please come along, set up a test bed for us, we give you a couple of, a bigger server, download some virtual machines, install some operating systems, install some applications, use this tool to simulate a DOS attack or simulate like denial of service attack or simulate an injection attack, and give us the test bed, give us this test bed where we can do more experiments. So that is a very good exercise, a lot of learning for the students, and maybe a little bit of it's beneficial for the company. And they don't just depend how lucky you are, and also how proactive you are. So in this scenario, they were very collaborative, working with them and trusting them. It's all about trust. If they trust you, you can empower you, even yourself, to invest time and effort to really show your capabilities. And you get the idea. Some of them, okay, they are implementing some module. Okay, we give you this small module, go ahead and implement it. We will not plug it directly in our production environment. We will give it to our testers to give you some feedback. It might be an early implementation of that module that they might further refine and maybe put. It doesn't, for you, the purpose is not for them to put it or to use it or throw it away. It's not your concern. What is your concern? To work on something meaningful for them, as realistic as possible, and that can generate some learning for you. Is clear? Okay. Okay, so very important here. This is not just another course. If you just want another course, there are plenty of summer courses. Just go and take them. It's not. I'm not discouraging you, but this is a big responsibility. Image of QU, it's at your hand. Image of other students at your hand. Okay? So you really need to be responsible, act professionally, and leave excellent image back like once you finish. This is very important. If you are not ready to do this, you escape any opportunity to just mentor networking, scale those. Please don't go if that's the mentality. I'm just making dramatic. I'm sure you are not that type of student. But this is very serious. So instead of now chasing them, please accept our students are good, they can be of value to you, they should be, as time goes, they should be coming to us. We should escape from them. Please send us some of your students. That's what we want. Okay, so you need to be careful. Please take this very seriously. Once you step there, no dropping. Nothing. If some thinking comes, just push it away. There's no dropping once you put your foot in there. It gives a very bad image. If you want to really break the whole image of other colleagues following you, then start and then say, tomorrow I'm not coming. It's not very good because they put also effort into answering our emails, maybe interviewing you, maybe, and they open their door and suddenly you let them down. Imagine what's the impression. Next time we knock their door, what they will tell us? Please, we don't want to even open this discussion. So you need to be careful. Okay. I'm not trying to scare you. It's easy. People since they open the door for you, they want to give you the opportunity to learn. They want to give you the opportunity to grow professionally. You should also embrace it and show the best of you. And you can do it, of course. Yes? Okay, good. Now, the deliverables. What is expected of you? Because it's not just internship, you will get a grade. We don't give grades like this. Okay, you have to show, you have to provide evidence. So here is what the timeline, and the timeline shows what you are expected to deliver. All right. So the first day, 1st of July, inshallah, you will start. The first deliverable, 1 page stating exactly what you will be doing and what is the expected learning you will get out of that activities you will be doing. So 1 page. So everything, it has a form where you will use to fill. Very simple form. Internship objective forms. So you have the activities objectives and you have the growth objectives. So the activity, for example, set up a test bed for a cybersecurity experiment. That's the activity you will be doing. If you have more details, you can add more details. What is the growth? What is it for me as a student? I will get exposure to virtualization and setting up virtual machines. I get exposure to connecting these virtual machines in a virtual network. I will get exposure to different attack simulation tools. I will learn about different security attacks and how they can be mounted or executed. See, this is the learning for you. Some of the learning you will basically apply what you already know. Some of it you will learn as you go. So the activities and the learning. Okay, and that's it. And then you sign it with your mentor and you send it to me. I can give you some feedback, just to make sure no surprises. Can give you some feedback. Why not consider this? Why not suggest this to them to make it a little bit more interesting? Or this is huge. You need 6 months, not 6 weeks. Consider zoom into this more interesting part. So this is why in the first week, okay? In the first week, you should be clear what you will be doing. And this is, to be honest, this is the biggest challenge. It is the first week to tell them I am here to do something, not to just watch. Of course, nicely. Be careful. I'm just kind of pushing you. Don't be like me, too pushy. You need to be diplomatic. You know how to kind of get what you want in a nice way. Okay. But don't come back and say, oh, they didn't give me anything. I was enjoying coffee, enjoying the breaks. They have a nice view from the top of the building. That's not what the internship is all about. So you need to be careful. All right. So second thing, the third week. You finish the third week, you need to write a report. What you have done so far, what you have learned so far. Yes? Now, to help you do this reporting, because you will be too excited doing things, learning new things, talking to people, and things will escape from your mind. So that's why we have this second template, which is the internship journal. Before the ideas escape, the reflections escape, you will say, okay, this week, how many hours did I spend there? Get my supervisor to say, yes, you were there. And then what did I do? What reflections did I get from this? Okay. I thought, when I collected the requirements in software engineering, it was a piece of cake. Very easy. Now, to even know what they want from me, it's very hard. This is a reflection that the requirements that they gave me is very vague, doesn't make any sense. This is a reflection that you might say, okay, collecting requirements, clear requirements, and defining the scope of a project it's a very hard task. And what you have done, for example, to make the scope of your work more clear. This could be a reflection, or reflecting what you learned from this exercise. But for example, it takes more than just technical expertise. It takes the interpersonal skills, the communication skills. You might have those reflections. So capture those, because these will be helpful for you to write your progress reports and to write your final report. And it is required. You have to document what you have been doing each week. This is the journal. Now come the third week, you kind of summarize these journals in one document. Simple progress report, what you have done in the last 3 weeks and what you have learned in the last 3 weeks, and then get some feedback so far from your mentor. You submit it in the third week. Come the fourth week, inshallah, I will visit you in the company. Okay, so I'll have some idea what you have been doing. I have the progress report, and I'll come. We can have a discussion. You can present what you have done. Maybe if you have small demo, you can show it. Any issues, any problems, anything me or the mentor can help you to move forward and so on. So there will be a visit. So you will need to help me by sending where you are exactly. If there is any security clearance or pass, you need to help me to get to you. Okay. So we will see that. And I don't know Doha very well, so you need to help with some a GPS location, well-described place. Otherwise, I'll be roaming around and come to you after it's time to go home. So that's what I will be expecting. And then you have another 3 weeks to finalize. Hopefully, after this meeting, you might readjust your tasks, your scope, your focus. So, and preparing yourself for the final report, which will be at the end of your internship. So you will finish 9th of August, and then you have 1 more week to finalize. Not to write, to finalize. Hopefully you are writing as you go, so it's easier for you to finalize your reports and your learning journal. So the learning journal 1 will have the first 3 weeks. Learning journal 2 will have the last 3 weeks. Okay, and then the first week of fall, inshallah, when we come back, first week of fall, you will present your report. You do presentation to 2 faculty, and they will grade your project. Okay, here is the share of the pie of each of the stakeholders involved. I try to keep mine as small as I can. I wish I just guide you without any influence, but I think I need to put a bit of contribution in the grade. All right, so here is how it is distributed. Your mentor will have 30% of the grade. So at the end of your internship, there is a form. There's lots of forms here. All of them, I already posted them for you. You print it, you give it to him or her. She will fill it, give you a grade out of 100, and then put it in an envelope, seal it, and then bring it back. You bring it to me, and that will be 30%. Okay? It doesn't need to be sealed if you do. Like, don't show that we don't have trust relationship. Like, just get them to fill it and bring it. Okay, now But usually they put it in a nice envelope and they give it to you. All right. Now the visit, I think this should be first. Anyway, I think I changed it. So the progress report and the journal 10%, and then the coordinator visits 10%. This is me, 20%. And this the internship report 35%. You can see the bulk of the grade, and the presentation 15%. It seems reasonable. Any feedback? Okay. So basically, this is the distribution. Okay. So I already explained this. First week, the internship objectives in terms of activities and learning. Because you are not doing the activities for the sake of activities. Of course, deliverables are important, but the learning is more important, because what is the reason of this whole internship? It was for you to learn in a professional context, not in academic context. And by the way, I'll be in the background. I am not an instructor, by the way. I'm not an instructor. This is I'm just coordinating. So you are you and your mentor, your industrial mentor. It's a professional context, not an academic context. But we have this grading and this stuff because, like by university rules, you will get a credit hour for it. So it must have some measurable deliverables that we can put the grade based upon. Otherwise, it could be just pass or fail. But this is a credit hour course. That's why you have all these deliverables. Okay, good. Now, the learning journal, I also explained it. Each week, what you have done, what you have learned. So always you have these two components. The progress report, again, for the whole 3 weeks, what you have done, what you have learned. And then the report, there is a kind of very rough template, because the template will be based on the nature of your project. So for example, the students, I gave you the example, who designed the network, the report will be so different than the student that did evaluation of asset management tools, or the student that did the cybersecurity test bed. But roughly, you will kind of, to some extent, this is just as a guide to help you, as a template, but it's not strict. You need to customize it based on the nature of your project. So what we have here, background about the organization, not too much, 2 pages maximum. Especially you zoom into the IT side, the networking side, how the organization is, how the company is organized, what their mission, what their vision, but not too much. It's just to give the context. Don't go into too much details. They have a branch in Japan and branch in India, and there are 10 people in that. Those details are not important. Okay? Just focus on what is very critical, just to give a nice overview about the company in general, and then zoom into your department, to your team, what they're doing, what they're taking care of, and then zoom into your role and what you have done with them. Then summary of accomplishments. So that's why the journals will help you to do this. Then here is different. But most projects, you will have some kind of requirements. You might do some kind of analysis, some design, maybe some implementation, some evaluation, depending on the nature of your project. And then, how did you manage your project? What was the timeline? In the first 2 weeks, I did this. In the third week, I did this. In the last 2 weeks, I concentrated on evaluation, for example. And then the reflections. Again, the reflections. Though you see the journal now becomes very helpful. You can just bring those from the journal, summarize them, put them in a nice way in coherent documents, and then submit. Okay. That's all right. So what's next? The presentation. So the presentation is nothing but kind of summary of the report. You will put it in a presentable way and you present it to your examiners. It might have similar structure. an overview of the organization, an overview of your project, what was your goals and objectives and deliverables. Maybe you might have some kind of design, some evaluation, some implementation, some evaluation, but this is different based on the project. What are the learning you achieved and what are the reflections? Reflections, like, you might change the way you perceive this whole domain that you have put yourself into might change. You might have a very different reflection. You might come back more focused, more concentrated, more motivated, or say, oh, I don't need all of it. You might change. You might have some, hopefully, positive reflections. You try to capture those, okay? So don't just be too focused on the task, which are important, but always look behind the task and see what you have learned from the whole experience. All right, so the stakeholders, with whom you will be dealing with through this journey. First of all, it's you, okay? You need to stay motivated. You need to enjoy it, okay? You need to really make new friends, new connections. It could be your first opportunity to get an opportunity of continuation with them. Why not? Because in many cases, companies could have some vacancies, and you might be the right person at the right time that knocked their door, and they will just hold you tight. So you never know. So try to make the most out of it. Enjoy it. Don't make it as a burden. Just basically enjoy it. It will pass very smoothly, and you will hopefully, inshallah, benefit from it. Okay, mentor. This is the person in the company you will be closely working with. And so basically they will make sure, hopefully they will make sure that you are doing some progress. You need to kind of negotiate with them and push them nicely to give you some work, to guide you, to give you feedback as you do work. Okay? So even if you have your scope, don't just go to your corner and do your work and leave them alone until the last day. No, every time you regularly contact with them. Not every hour, like, I mean, regular, keep in touch. Whenever there's opportunity, give them what you have done. If you have some small prototype, show them, get their feedback and so on, get their guidance. That's the idea. And if there is any issues, that is your main contact. They can help you remove those issues. Let's say your card stops working, it's them. Let's say your security card stops working, it's them who will help you reactivate it, for example. So any roadblocks, that's their role, to help you. Internship coordinator, that is me. I am just here to guide you, basically give you feedback, grade 20% of your grade, and then organize the examination. So based on the nature of your project, I'll be assigning 2 examiners to listen to your presentation and go through your report and and give you the grade. So that's it. So that the whole idea is, it's a transition. It's a transition from the academic life to the professional life. And an experience that more likely than not to be asked about in future interviews and in future opportunities. Though most likely they will not talk to you about calculus or physics 2 or even algorithms or algorithm analysis, but they might talk, what did you do in the internship? What did you do in senior project? What project? You will realize once you go out there, it's all project-based. So it's not individual knowledge pieces. You are excellent with A's and B pluses and 4 out of 4 or 3.9. Of course, it's important but it's putting that knowledge together, coupled and spiced up with other interpersonal skills and communication skills to solve real problems and to engage in projects with the team. So it's a combination of things. So hopefully this internship will give you that taste. So when you go to the professional life, it's not a big surprise. You already been there, and you can um, talk about it. That's why it's not a normal course. If you don't perceive it as just yet another course, get the grade and move on. It's more than just a course. Okay. And by the way, just to remind you, you cannot take any other course with this because you need to comply with the attendance policy of the company. So that's basically you need to get out of the academic kind of hat and really put a professional hat and try to get ready for your next move in life. Any questions? Crystal clear? Okay. All right. So I wish you all the best.